I'm good at one thing, and that is dropshipping. Over the last 5 years, I've scaled over 30 products, amounting to over $20 million in sales. People ask me all the time to mentor them, but today, I want to give it away for free. All of it. I'm gonna give you guys everything from finding a winning product, to finding winning angles, to how to build a store, how to market that store, and how to actually make money with your dropshipping business. But here's the thing, guys, it's gonna be a long video. And if you can't stick through the first 10 minutes of this video, then dropshipping is probably not for you. But without further ado, let's get into it. So today we're gonna cover a couple topics ranging from should you even dropship, how to start dropshipping with no money, case studies showing some of my own stores and other stores that have scaled to millions and millions in sales with dropshipping, learning from failure, how I learned from some of my failures and how you guys can learn from them as well, how to find winning products, product research. Unlike most gurus, I'm gonna do live product research with you guys and show you exactly how I find winning products. I'm gonna show you how to market your product. I'm gonna show you how to run ads, where to find those ads, and how to make those ads yourself. We're gonna be going over UGC creators and how to get UGC for your brand that will allow you to scale to that 7, 8, and even 9-figure amount. We're gonna be going over suppliers and fulfillment. A lot of people in the dropshipping space don't understand how important it is to have a good supply chain behind your brand. So I'm gonna be giving away all my resources there and going over exactly how we like to tackle that. We're gonna be going over creating and designing your own store, how you guys wanna set up your store, and how you want it to look to optimize for conversions and purchases. We also are gonna go over how to scale your store, honestly just scaling ads and making more money. We'll be going over how to hire team members and how to actually build a real business behind your store. And lastly, how to build a community around your store so you can then exit it and sell it for millions down the line. Now, just to clarify, guys, the type of dropshipping that we're teaching here is not normal dropshipping. I've been dropshipping online for 5 years. In the first 2 years, basically no success. And the reason behind that was I didn't really understand how to properly dropship online. Look, guys, dropshipping is dead. Branded dropshipping is well alive. And that's the thing. If you try the traditional method of dropshipping, the traditional method of just taking a shitty product, running it on a shitty general store and expecting to make money, it will not work. And trust me, I've been there, done that, it just doesn't work. The type of dropshipping we teach is what we clarify as branded dropshipping. And this is something that you're gonna find nowhere else on the internet. No one else is talking about how to do this because it actually works. And here's the secret, guys. People don't like to give away their secrets. People will not tell you how to make money online. They'll give you some fugazi to sell their course, but I'm here to break all of that. I'm here to change the game, guys. I'm gonna teach you exactly how to do branded dropshipping in 2024 so you can go ahead and make a shit ton of money like me and my team. Should you even dropship? Well, you've probably seen countless people online talking about how dropshipping is dead and how you don't want to do it and how it maybe won't be for you. But I'll tell you straight up, guys, if you're genuine about starting a business and actually finding a product that solves a problem and providing value to the market, then dropshipping is for you. Dropshipping is the easiest way to start a business in 2024 because you can easily validate products and build them into full-fledged e-commerce brands. With branded dropshipping, we focus on finding products that actually solve a problem. Products that aren't like sunset lamps or galaxy roses or any of these BS products, products that actually get conversions, products that actually make someone's life easier. For example, oils, hair oils, skincare devices. These type of products actually sell online because they not only get the purchase, but they solve a problem for someone. And that's the whole thing about dropshipping. If you can find a product that solves a legitimate problem, you guys can build a legitimate brand that you can exit for millions down the line, just like I did. Nevertheless, one of the most important mindset traits to have if you guys want to scale with dropshipping is being okay with failing. Guys, I tested 30 products until I found my first winner. That's 30 products. That's 30 products of failure until I finally got something to work. Now, I'm not going to say you guys need to test 30 products in order to find your first winner. I know people that found their first winner in their second product or even their fifth product. But the thing is, guys, you have to be okay with failing. And I like to say this to all my students as well. You want to fail forward. If you guys don't have the mindset of failing forward, being okay with learning from your mistakes and moving forward, then you'll never get to the point where you can actually build a legitimate dropshipping store. I see time and time again, people just give up way too easily. And I could sit in front of this camera for hours telling you guys the exact products I'm running, the exact ads I'm running, how we're doing it, how you can do it too, how to exactly emulate and copy my success. But the sad truth is, even if I give you guys everything on a silver platter, most of you guys will still fail. And that's because you just give up too easily. So I'm speaking to the 1% of people watching this that don't give up too easily, that genuinely want to make this work. If you have the grit and you have the ability to fail forward and learn from your mistakes, you will succeed in this game. Guys, trust me, I've networked with hundreds and hundreds of other dropshippers, thousands of other people in this industry, and I've seen time and time again, most of the people in this industry are incredibly lazy. They procrastinate and they don't get shit done, and they do give up very fast. So if you have just 1 ounce of savage in you, just 1 ounce of getting the job done and actually persevering and making this thing work, trust me, you will lap all these other guys. You just need to be a little bit savage. You need to be just a little bit hard-headed. You guys have to definitely be persistent in what you do, because if you're not persistent in this game, you will not succeed. It's just a matter of persistence and making the right moves. One thing I will mention as well, if you guys are thinking about if you should even dropship, is you need to be good at marketing. And if you're not already good at marketing, you need to be open to getting good at marketing. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and no one else is gonna say this online. 99% of dropshipping and e-commerce is just marketing. And look, it's okay if you're naturally not good at marketing. If you're naturally not someone who can easily sell a product or understands how to sell a product, that's okay, because I wasn't either. And I genuinely don't think anyone came out the womb as a good marketer. It's just something that you learn over time. So if you guys are open to becoming good marketers and open to getting good at selling products, then this is the game for you. Now, how to start dropshipping with no money. Now, I know most of the people watching this might not be in the best financial place. I know most of the people watching this probably don't have much money to begin with, and that's okay. Because the beautiful thing about dropshipping, especially branded dropshipping, it's a business model that is for everyone. Even if you don't have much capital, there are countless ways to approach it and countless ways to make this thing work if you're not where you want to be financially. And that's why I love this business model, because I'm not going to sit here in front of the camera and tell you guys you can get into real estate with no money. That's impossible. You guys can't do most business models with no money. You guys can't build apps. You guys really can't trade or do anything with crypto. Starting an agency is very hard if you have no money. But the beautiful thing is, with dropshipping, there are countless ways to approach this game if you don't have much capital. So let me tell you guys, one of the best mindset shifts you guys have to make when getting into dropshipping if you don't have much money is, I get this question a lot: how much money do you need to get started? And the thing is, that's not the mindset you want to have when you're dropshipping. The thing is, you need money coming in every single month in order to consistently make this work. Now, the ways of making this work without much capital range from finding people to fund your ad spend and fund your marketing cost, running with organic marketing, so not running any paid media, which we'll get into here in a bit. And the third one is finding groups online of people that you can work with in order to get this to work. So it's very similar to the first, but it's a bit different. We'll explain all that here in a bit. But like I said earlier, most of the people watching this might already be working a job or have some sort of income coming in. Now, the best thing I can tell you guys is don't quit your day job. I'm not gonna lie like all the other gurus online and say you can quit your day job, just get into this, you'll be a millionaire, etc., etc. I'm gonna be straight up with you guys. Do not quit your day job. Stick with what you're doing, because you need money coming in every month. If it wasn't for my continuous hustles that I had during the time where I was testing products and failing, I would never have been able to find that winner, because I would have just ran out of money. That's the thing. If you have a couple thousand coming in every month of excess capital that you can use for testing, genuinely in 2 to 3 months, you can find a good product and make it work. But if you're stressing about just $1,000 and trying to make this thing work with $1,000, you're putting yourself in such a stressful position where you can't gamify this whole game of dropshipping, and you'll be way more stressed than the next person, and you really won't be able to get it work. So I highly recommend you guys either have money coming in or partner with someone who has money coming in. Now, what do I mean by partnering with someone who has money coming in? Look, there was a point in my journey when I was testing at least a couple products a week that I was running short on cash. I actually was like going negative at some points, and it was really stressful because obviously you need money to pay the bills, right? And it was a very stressful time in my life. So I did something that not a lot of other people do, and I'm going to share it with you guys in hopes that someone else copies this to actually help them make money with dropshipping. Now, I was very active in Discord communities. If you guys don't know what Discord is, it's a community where you guys can go find other communities of people sharing the same interests. There's Discord communities about fashion, about dropshipping, about trading, about basically anything you can think of. What I would do is I would go on these Discord communities. I would be as active as possible, messaging in the free chats and just making sure people knew who I was. And then when I needed to have funds, or in times of need where I needed to test a product, but I maybe didn't have enough capital to do it, or I was in a really stressful financial position, I would find partners on this Discord, people who would fund my ad spend. It's really simple, guys. If you're active on these communities and you're trying to give value and you're very persistently on these communities and you try and give value as much as possible, and you simply just make a couple posts asking people like, hey, I've done this and this of drop shipping. I've seen these stores. I have really good products. Who wants to partner with me? Just don't have capital right now, et cetera, et cetera. If you make posts like along these lines, trust me, a lot of people will reach out to you. You'll get more traction than you think. Utilize these free Discord communities to find partners and find people to work with to either fund your ad spend or put you in a good position to where you can learn from them as well. That's how you start with no capital. You find someone who does have capital and you just front all the work. Imagine if we're working together and someone came to me and said, I'll do all the work. I have a lot of products that I know are going to work. I know how to set up a store. I've watched all this guy's content, et cetera, et cetera. Could you fund the ad spend? We'll put everything under your name and I'll do literally all the work. I just want a small percentage or whatever it is. That's something that you guys can do and you can approach someone with to actually get them to fund your ad spend. And now you're in the game without any capital. Now you're taking no financial risk and you're making it work. And this was huge for me because if it wasn't for doing this, I would have been in a position where I don't think I would have been able to find a winning product because I was so stressed. Money was coming out so quickly and I just wasn't able to really focus on the game. I was just too stressed on making it work and it was a very frustrating time in my life. But if it wasn't for partnering up on these Discords and finding people to fund my ad spend, I would not have been where I'm at right now. Now, with all that being said, it was a no-brainer for me to start a free Discord community around a couple months ago. Me and my team launched this free Discord community because it was so monumental to my success that I had to give back and do it for the community. So as always, guys, if you want to join our free community, the link is in bio. Like I said, it's one of the best ways you can actually start with no capital is finding other people to fund your ad spend. So don't miss out on this. Another way of starting dropshipping with little to no money, and I do not recommend this way, but I have to give it to just be honest with you guys and give you all the knowledge I know, is what we call organic marketing. Now, when you're dropshipping, when you're selling a product online, there's two ways to go about to get customers. You can either run what we call paid media. So these are Facebook ads, TikTok ads, Snapchat ads, any sort of ads, which is the main way. And the second way is going to be what we call organic marketing. Now, what is organic marketing? Organic marketing is basically just making posts about the product. So let's say you had a product you were selling, like maybe a phone case or something. You would genuinely just make posts online about that product. You would just make a TikTok account and make posts about how this is the best phone case in the world, et cetera, and you will start getting sales organically. The term organic just means that people are seeing you on their feed and they're buying just naturally without any paid media or any funnels or anything like that. Now, on paper, organic marketing sounds amazing. Like, why wouldn't anyone just start with that? Because it's no capital for ads. You're drop shipping, so there's no inventory cost. Setting up a Shopify store is very cheap anyway, so there's really little to no cost there. So why wouldn't just anyone do that, right? The issue with organic marketing and the reason why I tell people not to do it off the bat is because you're genuinely trading time for money. And it takes a lot of effort just to get a little bit of sales. The thing with organic marketing is, yes, you can start with no capital, and yes, you can still get sales if you get viral videos, but it's a very aggressive industry. Let's say you were selling a phone case, you would have to make genuinely around 3 to 5 TikTok accounts, and you would need to post really aggressively, like 3 to 5 times a day per TikTok account. A lot of people get into organic marketing and maybe they'll make like one post here, one post there, and they expect it to work, and it never will work because the thing is you have to give as much volume as you physically can, really. It's quite a hard game to play. And on top of that as well, when it comes to organic marketing, the type of products that work with organic marketing typically don't brand well and they don't work with paid media. For example, one of the biggest branded marketing products in the world was the gun keychain, if you guys have seen it before. It's basically like a, you can look it up, it's very popular on AliExpress. It's like a keychain that's like, looks like a gun as well. This one was really popular. I had a lot of my past students make a lot of money with this. But the issue with organic products like that, they're very gimmicky and they do not actually translate into real brands. You can't start a brand out of just gun keychains. Like that whole concept you guys have is like, oh, we're just gonna sell a bunch of keychains. That's not how it's gonna work. No one's gonna buy from you. That's not how you build a real brand. You wanna have a product that's a skincare product or oil or like a fitness product, like a weight loss product. These are things that can actually be built into real brands because they solve a real problem. Now with the keychain, what problem are you solving? You're not solving any problems. That's why this isn't a product you guys want to pursue. And that's why organic marketing really isn't the right way to start with branded dropshipping, because you're moving away from what makes branded dropshipping unique. You're moving away from the problem solving factor. You're moving away from having a real brand and you're actually just doing the whole gimmicky route. And on top of that as well, like I said earlier, you're trading time for money. You have to genuinely make so many posts every single day. You have to be so active with it, and you have to always be coming up with new ideas. You won't have time to actually build a real brand. You'll just constantly be making posts. But let's say to the 1% of people watching this that are very stern on organic marketing. Maybe they heard it from some other guru. Maybe they are so keen on making organic marketing work. What is the process there and how to actually do it properly? Well, I'm going to tell you, if you truly want to make money with organic marketing, guys, you need to do something along the lines of 3 to 5 TikTok accounts, 3 to 5 Instagram accounts, 3 to 5 Facebook Reel accounts, 3 to 5 YouTube Shorts accounts. You want to be posting anywhere between 5 to 10 pieces of content a day per account with all unique pieces of content. And you have to do that for about 3 weeks. Now, when I say it out loud like that, it definitely sounds a lot more work than a lot of people think, because it is a lot of work. Organic marketing done properly is a lot of work, and it's something I don't recommend. Now, the third way about starting with no money is very similar to the first, but that is going back to just being active on communities. And guys, to be honest, that is the best way. If you don't have much capital, find someone who does and then just go under their wing. And if you guys have some capital coming in, just be conservative about how you test products and how you play this game. And I'll teach you that as we go through this video. It's probably the best way to do it. And yeah, guys, that's about 3 ways you can start dropshipping with no money. So now here's the thing, guys. When you're getting into dropshipping, branded dropshipping, one thing I noticed when you look online to find resources on how to get started is no one shows you a successful store. And I never understood that. When I started this journey of branded dropshipping and dropshipping, one things I wanted to find was just a successful store. Because if I could see a store that was making money, guaranteed making money, then I know that I just need to make my store look like that, or I need to have something similar to this because it's already working. But no guru and no one was actually showing me stuff that worked. So one of the first things I did when I started to gain a following online is I started to show people stores that were working, or stores of my own that were working, because I know the best way to help someone is show them where they want to go. How are you guys going to build a house without a blueprint, right? If you don't know what you need and what it's going to look like at the end, then you're never going to be able to do it. So I'm going to do you guys a favor here, and I'm going to show you guys some stores that I know are making a lot of money. Just out of respect, I'm not going to reveal the exact numbers for some of these stores, because I'll tell you, I either own them or one of my friends owns them as well. So, you know, I might be exposing myself here, but I'm not going to tell you guys, so it'll be a little bit of a mystery. But just to start off here, the first brand I want to be talking about is Bleem. And you'll see on the screen here, Bleem is one of the best examples of dropshipping product turned into branding. Now, the question that arises is, one, how much money are these guys making? Like I said, I can't say the exact amount, but what I will say is this: they've done 8 figures in revenue. I can tell you guys confidently that they've done 8 figures in revenue. If you guys want to do more research, there's a tool called shophunters.io. It's not the most accurate because there's been some bans and whatnot with it, but you can plug in the website and see for yourself how much they're making. But they've done 8 figures in revenue, and this is a perfect example of dropshipping store turned into brand. Now, the thing with branded dropshipping is when you pop a winner, when you find that winning product, you don't just make a couple $1,000s, you make millions. And that's why it's such a good game to play. A lot of people, when they think about dropshipping, they're thinking too small. They think when you have a good product, when you have something working, it's just going to make you a couple $1,000s. You know, you'll be able to get a couple nice dinners and then you're done with your money. But here's the thing, guys. If you have a truly good winning product and you're able to brand it out properly, and you build a good content system behind that brand, a good team behind that brand, and you can genuinely build a multi-million-dollar business. Everyone I know who's done branded dropshipping properly has made at least over $1 million profit with at least their big winning product, right? Because that's the thing, you only need one product to change your life. You're only one product away from the dream life you want to live. So with Bleem, as you guys can see here, it is a crystal hair remover product. This is a perfect example of what a winning product looks like, because not only does it solve a problem, but it also has a wow factor. If you guys can simply just rub this on your skin and remove your hair, it's a wow factor. You know, you don't have to get laser hair remover. It solves a problem with like waxing and all that. And there's a lot of angles to test around this product. I like to call these products shortcut products, because the thing is, if a product solves a problem and it happens to have a wow factor, 9 out of 10 times it is a shortcut, right? Because you just think about it logically, 1 + 1 = 2, right? If it has both of these traits, it most likely is going to be a shortcut. With the crystal hair eraser, it is a perfect shortcut product, because you're basically telling people you don't need a wax, you don't need shave, you don't need to get laser hair removal, you can save your money. You just need to get this product and you will be a-okay. And that's why this product did so well, and that's why they're able to scale really hard, is because they found the shortcut product. And not only only did they find a shortcut product and they sold it really well, they actually were able to create a really strong brand behind it. This started as a dropshipping store, guys. I kid you not. I know the owner of this brand, and I can tell you confidently that this started as a dropshipping store and is now being scaled to millions a month. Now, how were these guys able to make millions from such a simple product? The thing is, they understood one thing, and that was to create a brand around the product. And all the examples I'm going to show you guys, they all share this common trait of creating a brand. Now, here's the thing about creating a brand online. A lot of people think you need to have a lot of capital to invest. A lot of people think that you need to have a really strong team behind it, a really strong vision. But here's the thing, guys. Brands move in versions. Version 1 of this store is much different than what the version is right now. This is probably version 30, right? Over time, they're able to add new things to the store, add new things to the marketing, and grow it into a real brand. They had what we call a progressive mindset, and they were okay with failing forward. Another thing that comes behind a brand is perception, perceived value. Look, guys, when you look at the store, when you look at these ads, you probably think like, oh, this is like a multi-million-dollar brand. The average person is probably thinking like, oh, this is a huge company. They're probably making millions. They have thousands and thousands of customers. And don't get me wrong, they've gotten to that point. But when they started out, it was the exact same thing. They truly have put themselves in a position to where they're perceived as the authority figure in the space. And that's why I want everyone watching this video, when you test your products with dropshipping, when you try dropshipping online, always try and be perceived as the authority figure in the space. That means premium pricing, premium branding, and premium marketing. And we'll get into all that as this video progresses, but just remember now, you want as much perceived value as possible so you can be authority in the space and actually get sales. Now, as we scroll through the website here, you guys can see it's very on brand. They've gotten to the point where they've been able to invest into actual creators to hold the product and whatnot. And we'll teach you guys how to do this as well. They really have a good brand voice. You know, they're talking about how a lot of people say you want to be formal in your ad copy and whatnot, and they're purposely misspelling stuff here because it's on brand, and that's the key. A good thing about products like this is they're very aggressively marketed. As you can see all over the product page, there are before and afters, and before and afters are one of the best things you guys can have for your dropshipping store because it's aggressive marketing. Look, you guys have to realize dropshipping, especially branded dropshipping, is a game of impulse purchases. People are going to impulsively buy your product off of your ad. Now you need to think, what's going to get the impulse purchase? Is it going to be some shitty home decor sunset lamp? Or is it going to be that skincare device that's going to remove all their issues? That's going to make them pretty again, right? That's the type of stuff that actually sells because it gets the impulse purchase. They obviously have amazing charts here. They have amazing formatting and whatnot. Obviously this is very advanced, guys, because these guys have already made millions and millions of dollars, but this goes to show what is possible with branded dropshipping. Now, one of the things that you guys want to do, and not just with the stores I'm going to show you here, but any store that you think is making money, is you simply want to go to their Facebook ad library, as I'm showing you here, put in the URL and look at their existing ads. Now this is huge because look, branded dropshipping is just a game of ads. You simply are just running ads to a store. People are seeing your ads and buying every day. The game is played on return on ad spend, meaning let's say Bleem spends $10,000 a day on marketing on Facebook ads, and they bring back $20,000 a day in sales. They'd have a 2x return on ad spend, and in between that, probably around a 30% margin. So we're looking at around, you know, if it's 20K, like around 5 to 6K a day in profit. That's kind of how the game is played. If your ads turn off, typically if you don't have a really good returning customer rate, you won't make any sales. So having active ads 24/7 is one of the most important parts of running a branded dropshipping store. So with that being said, when you guys are learning about this business model, getting involved in it, you want to spend as much time as possible going through these brands' ad library, understanding what ads they're running, see common patterns between brands, because one thing you'll notice, and one thing that I noticed as well when I started this game, is all these brands, they like to run sales. They always like to run sales, you know, International Women's Day, spring sale, especially don't even get me started with Black Friday, that's what's a huge one, but they always are running sales. So one thing that we started to do with our e-commerce brands is we run more sales, and we see better metrics and more scale than most people because of that. And that's simply because I did the research and I looked through all these brands' ad libraries. One thing you'll notice too is they have a lot of unique content. All this content is what we call UGC. This is user-generated content. This type of content is essentially really, really important because this is what most of scaling in 2024 looks like. You simply just scale UGC content with Facebook and TikTok ads to your Shopify store to get sales. If I had to sum it up in like a little digestible chunk, that's what it is. But guys, remember, there's a lot of moving pieces to this business model. And I'm showing you the marketing now, I'm showing you the website now because I want you to get a good idea of what a winning store looks like and what you want to move towards. But remember, there's a lot that goes behind it, and I don't want you guys to get overwhelmed, because one of the easiest things to do when you get into this game is get overwhelmed and get information overload. Here's the thing, guys. If you want to eat an elephant, you start with one bite at a time, right? And it's a weird saying, but the saying holds a lot of truth, because the thing is, in this business model, there's a lot of moving factors, and you guys just have to move one step at a time. With that being said, guys, that is Bleem. Now, what is the next store I want to show you guys here? And that is solawave.com. Now, Solawave is one of my favorite dropshipping stores turned into brand, because these red light therapy products absolutely print. I used to sell these back in the day as well. Now, Solawave is not my brand, and I actually don't know the owner of Solawave, but I can tell you they are scaling very hard, and you can dropship the same exact product. It's a product and brand stem from dropshipping. Now, the beautiful thing about Solawave is their margin is insane, because they understood one thing, and that was perceived value. Like I said earlier, guys, one of the biggest factors in creating a real brand online is having perception, right? Because at the end of the day, you're just a dropshipping store, but you have to be perceived as a big brand. Even when you're just doing product tests, it's one of the most important parts about this game. They're selling the product for over $100. If you guys go to AliExpress, you can see the same product for literally under $10. That is a crazy over 1,000% margin on gross margin on each sale. And they're scaling very hard. This is a multi-million-dollar brand. They understood branding. They understood taking a product and turning it into a real e-commerce brand, and they didn't get stuck in the dropshipping mentality. If anything, guys, I just want you guys to think as big as possible, because if I've learned anything over these last 5 years of doing business is think big. If you guys don't think big, someone else will, and they will lap you in whatever field you do. Do not think small. Don't have what we call the dropshipper mentality. Have the branded dropshipper mentality, because the branded dropshipper is looking to create a full-fledged e-commerce brand that they can exit and sell for millions. Anything short of that is not of interest to them, and that should be the same for you guys as well. The next store I want to show you guys here is a complete oddball, because when most people see the store and most people see this product, they think this can't be drop shipping. This is probably just some e-commerce brand, mom and pop shop out of wherever in the US. This product is a drop shipping product, and these are the type of drop shipping products that do really well in 2024, because you can't tell they're drop shipping products. And I've said this time and time again, look, the best drop shipping products don't look like drop shipping products, and it might be a little bit confusing at first, but over time you'll kind of learn where I'm getting at. Classic reindeer antler extract, completely oddball product. Basically, the product has the marketing angle of providing men with increased libido in test. But the beautiful thing about this product is you can drop ship it, and you can put subscriptions on it, and it's replenishable, and it's going to get return customers, and there's so many marketing angles behind this product that you can exploit to get sales. If you guys have noticed anything about any of the products I just showed you, they all have multiple marketing angles, because, and I've said this time and time again, and this is one of the core points of this video, you don't have winning products, you have winning angles and creatives. I'm going to repeat that one more time, because this is one of the most important parts of this video. You don't have winning products, you have winning angles and creatives. Now, with the deer antler extract, there's probably many ways these guys could have marketed the product. They could say increased sexual performance, increased energy, increased hair growth, because it's just a test and libido increasing product. Whatever angle they pick, they can always manipulate it, they can always change it, and they can always move forward with it. Same thing with Bleem. If Bleem wanted to say this was the best solution for removing hair from your private parts, they could do that. And I think they do that mostly if you look at their ads. But if they wanted to say, no, this is the best thing to remove underarm hair for girls, don't be secure about your underarm hair, get this instead, they could do that as well. The beautiful thing about these products is they're very manipulable, they're very moldable, and you guys can genuinely do whatever you want in order to sell them. Now, like I said with Bleem and like I said with Solawave, same thing goes with this brand. You guys want to go to their ad library when you have time, go through their ads and see what type of content they're running. Understand what a winning ad looks like. And that's why I'm showing you guys these examples, because these examples are going to help build the foundation of what you're going to build your brand off of. Because the thing is, if you understand brands in different niches that are doing well, if you're in a same niche, in a similar niche, you can build your brand very similar to theirs. You can make your ads very similar to them in order to make it work. But nevertheless, guys, this is a great store, very simple. They have the money back guarantee, which is something that you'll notice across all the stores I'm showing you. They all have a money back guarantee, which is something that you always want to include on your branded dropshipping store. But yeah, these are examples of successful branded dropshipping stores that are making millions every month. Okay, so now that you guys have the right mindset in check, you guys understand what good products look like and you have a good understanding of what bad products look like, I'm gonna show you guys how you guys can identify winning products. Because here's the thing, people ask me all the time, Samir, how do I find winning products? Where do I go? And the issue is most of you guys couldn't find a winning product for your life. The thing is, if you can't identify what a winning product is, it doesn't matter where you look, because trust me guys, they're in front of you all the time. For example, this whole entire video, I've been wearing a winning product on my wrist. This little bracelet, this little stone bracelet right here, this is the exact product I've sold over $1 million in profit worth. It's a carnelian stone gemstone bracelet. I wear it to show people and tell people that, because I get asked all the time, where do you find winning products? I wear them on my wrist. They're all over the place. They've been in front of you this whole video and you couldn't even see it. And that's the thing. So without wasting your guys' time, I'm gonna tell you guys exactly what are the traits of a winning product, how to identify them, and then we'll go into how you guys can find them, because I'm gonna be doing live product research in front of you. So let's get to it. What are some of the criterias of a winning product? Well, like I said earlier, winning products don't die. First of all, because they have problems that they solve. That's the most important part of a winning product, is they solve a problem. Because here's the thing guys, problems will always be around. For example, people having back pain, people having knee pain, people being insecure about their hair, people being insecure about their skin, people wanting to be of weight. These are all things that are always going to be around. Look, weight loss issues are always going to be around, and the way the market is going and the way the US is going especially, it's definitely getting worse. And that's a good thing for dropshippers and people who are trying to sell products online. You guys, there's winning angles and problems out there. Now you just need to find new products and new devices to solve the same problem. For example, with Bleem, the magic hair eraser product I showed you guys a little while ago, that product solved a problem that has been around for ages. There are thousands of other products that were brought up during the time frame of Bleem startup that solved the same problem. The one thing is Bleem knew what to do. They knew how to brand it properly, and that's why they're on top. Nevertheless, they started with a product that had a wide problem. So you guys need to pick products that just solve good problems. Now, the beautiful thing about branded dropshipping is you can't build a brand around some gimmicky product. You guys have to diminish that mindset of selling phone cases online and thinking you're going to become a millionaire. I'm not going to teach you guys how to start a fashion brand, because that's not the type of dropshipping, that's not the type of business model I preach and I do. I'm teaching you guys how to start a full-fledged skincare brand, how to start a hair care brand, how to start a men's wellness brand, whatever it is. These are actual problems that you guys are solving on a day-to-day basis, and you're gonna find it much easier to build that branded dropshipping store and actually make money. So solving a problem is one. The second one is having some sort of wow factor. Now, like I mentioned earlier, dropshipping and just the logical thing behind branded dropshipping and running ads online is people are going to buy off impulse. No one is buying off of intent, especially if they see a Facebook ad or TikTok ad about your product. Most of the time they're just scrolling, they're in bed, they're with their partner, whatever it is, they're scrolling, and they see an ad on something that sparks interest, that gets them thinking, and that drives the impulse purchase. If you guys don't have some sort of wow factor behind your product, it's gonna be quite difficult to get that impulse purchase. Now, the beautiful thing about selling a product that solves a problem is most of the time you can amplify the results of that product to then create a wow factor. For example, I know people that have made millions of dollars in profit selling knee braces online. Now, if you ask me, the knee brace and knee braces are extremely boring products. I mean, there's nothing interesting about it, and there's really little to no wow factor. However, they do solve a problem. Now, the reason they were able to sell millions and millions of dollars worth of this in profit, by the way, I'm not BSing here, not saying revenue, we're saying profit, is because they were able to simply create a wow factor on something that naturally doesn't have a wow factor. They were telling people like, hey, we know you've been struggling with knee pain for the last 5 years of your life, but just by weighing this thing for 1 week, it will all go away. By making these strong claims, by being aggressive with their marketing, that naturally gave their product a wow factor. Now, the thing is, people misunderstand what a wow factor looks like. They think when they see a nice, cool galaxy rose or like a sunset lamp, that's a wow factor because it looks pretty. Prettiness and having a wow factor are two completely different things. Most of the time, a good wow factor is just amplified results, telling people they can get to where they want to be quicker than anyone else can take them there. right? Having amplified results is the core behind having an actual wow factor. And that's why when I sold products like in the past, like carnelian stones, which was one of my past winning products, it did so well. We were able to make over $1 million selling these exact stones on my wrist right here. And the reason being is because there was a wow factor behind the product. We told people that if you buy these certain stones, you will get the benefits from them. For example, rose quartz, the love stone. We'd tell people would fall in love with them if they just gave them rose quartz. It became this whole Cupid, Fugazi thing that was able to scale really hard because we understood what a wow factor looks like. Not necessarily if you look at the stone, you're not going to think, wow, right? But when you hear our marketing claims, you hear what we're saying behind our ad copy and whatnot, that's where the wow factor came from, because we understood that wow factor is just amplified results. Those are the traits of winning products. Now, the thing is, if you combine both of the things I said above, 9 out of 10 times, like I said earlier in this video, it happens to be a shortcut. If you have a product that has a really good problem-solving factor and somewhat of a wow factor that you can also create, it happens to be a shortcut. For example, the knee braces. People look at the knee braces like, how could that be a shortcut? Well, you're telling people that you don't need to do exercise, you don't need to do this, you don't need to do that, just buy this knee brace and your pain will go away. Shortcut. Carnelian stone or any of these other rocks and stones we sold, you don't need to be pretty, you don't need to be this, you just buy the love stone and your man will fall in love with you. Shortcut. Bleem, hair erasing product. You don't need to get waxing done or anything like that, you just need to buy this product. Shortcut. Any weight loss product is also a shortcut. Don't go to the gym, just buy this instead. Shortcut. Solar Wave, Light Therapy. You don't need to take care of your face, you don't need good skin, you just need to use this, your skin will be perfect. Shortcut. Deer antler extract. You don't need to exercise, you don't need to do this, your libido will automatically increase when you get this product. You guessed it, shortcut. That's the thing. All these products are shortcuts, and that's why they're able to become full-fledged e-commerce brands, because they all were shortcuts and they all provided value to the market and people wanted to buy them. That's the key. People don't want to buy your product, no one's going to buy your product. So don't waste your time selling sunset lamps, selling galaxy roses. Focus on products that sell a shortcut. All right, guys, so I'm going to show you a little bit about product research and how to actually execute it properly. Now, like I mentioned before, it's not about where you look, it's about how you're looking, right? You and me could be looking at the same exact sheet of products, but I'm seeing things you're not, and maybe you're seeing things that I'm not. That's what makes this game unique, and that's what makes it beautiful. Because the thing is, it's not about getting on the right side of PP ads or getting on the right side of TikToks and seeing a bunch of product. It's about genuinely knowing what to look for and having what we call a trained eye. Now, I'm not going to waste a lot of time and just do a shit ton of like live product research, because the thing is, a lot of people are just going to watch that and assume that this is how you need to be doing it. What I will be doing is doing a bit of live product research, showing a little bit of my thought process, trying to be as vocal and communicate my thoughts best as possible, and then give away some of my underground product research methods that you guys can try out to hopefully find some winning products yourself. Without further ado, let's dive into it here. So there's a lot of tools out there, but I'm going to be using a free tool here called TikTok Creative Center. There's 2 free online tools to find products. This is excluding the methods I'm going to give away shortly here, but the 2 are going to be TikTok Creative Center and Facebook Ad Library. Both of these are completely free, and it gets down that mindset of it's not about where you look, it's about how you're looking, right? So if we log into TikTok Creative Center here, I'm going to show you guys exactly the same filters that I've used in the past to find some products that we're actively scaling. First, we like to focus in the US market. I don't really like to sell internationally, because the thing about branded dropshipping is you want to focus on one market and dominate it. I prefer the US because you focus on the US market. You can build, or if you're in the UK, focus on the UK. If you're in the UK, you could do UK, Australia, and US, you can do top 4. If you're in the US, you want to focus on selling in the US, because here's the thing, guys, you're going to get inventory in the US. You're going to get influencers in the US, and eventually you're going to sell your business in the US. So it's good to focus on one market and dominate that. And that's what we teach with branded dropshipping. You're not going to hear any other guru say that. So I'm going to pull it up right here. So first things first, you have the US. Next thing under industry, the filters don't matter too much. You can honestly keep them open, even though you're going to get some stuff you can't sell. It's not a huge deal, honestly. Objective, very important. You want to go for conversions, because that is what anybody who's running an e-commerce or dropshipping store is bidding for. The last 30 days is fine. Ad language, English. Ad format, doesn't matter what you pick here. Likes, honestly, doesn't matter either. What you want to pick over here, it's a weird filter. I don't know why it does this, but if you go to others and you pick 6-second view rate, for some reason, a bunch of dropshipping products pull up. So for example, we're just going to scroll here and see what we can find. So you can start here, guys. This might be the slowest part of the video, but definitely going to give you some value. What is this? Okay, this is anti-vaping. This looks good. We're going to click on that. Vaping is a huge issue and it's very common. So let's see. This is a good product. I'll have someone edit this in the video somewhere so we can see. But this is a good product from what I can tell. It looks like a necklace. I've sold this product before. This is a good one. It's a very good one because it solves a problem. It has a wow factor, and it's not just some gimmicky thing. You can actually attach it to like an angle. So like, don't vape. Do this instead to solve your problem. It's very, very solid. Very happy to see someone scaling that right now. So that's something I would actually work on and sell. If we keep scrolling here, we might find something, we might not. You know, I didn't expect to find anything good on like just live product research with you guys, but like I said, it's all about the thought process. So this is speaking to me a lot. Okay, let's see here. Go from this to this. Perfect. This is a perfect example of a winning product. I'm actually really glad we found something on this call. So, or not call, sorry, YouTube video, it's been a long day. So over here, if we look, this is a before and after. Like I said, guys, any products that have before and afters typically do a lot better because they do get that impulse purchase because it's aggressive shortcut. It's aggressive marketing. And I hate to admit it, but I said it earlier, marketing is one of the most important parts about branded dropshipping. And it's really important you guys be aggressive marketers. Don't hold back. Do not hold back. Over here, we'll see. Play the video. How is this possible? Going from this, and then as the video plays, to this. So it's really just showing how this makes our ass look good, whatever it is. Now, that was a bit of live product research, but I want to tell you guys really quickly, what is the secret methods that I like to use for product research, what I recommend other people do as well. Now, here's the thing. I have one very good free method that anyone can use to make it work with branded dropshipping and find really good products with dropshipping in general. And that's what I like to call the TikTok burner account method. Now, with the TikTok burner account method, you're essentially just using TikTok and leveraging the platform to find winning products. How do we do this? So first things first is you guys want to go on TikTok, obviously create a new TikTok page and interact with as many ads and products as possible. What does that mean? You're just simply scrolling. If you see an ad, you tap on it, you like it. Typically, you want to trick the algorithm into thinking you're a girl because most winning products are for females. Like, don't get me wrong, men buy online too, but women buy way more. So it's best you sell a product around this niche. So go on TikTok and simply just scroll on TikTok, interact with different ads, different products, and essentially you will find products that not only are not being shown on all these ad platforms, but also products that can easily be scaled because it's on TikTok itself. It's already on the platform, right? So here's the thing. You want to scroll, you want to create this profile, you want to scroll a bit, interact with different ads. Over time, you will get better content. Now, people have already heard this method. It's not like this method is super top secret and it's like no one talks about it. It's pretty common. But the thing that makes it a bit different and the reason how we do it a bit differently than anyone else is we simply don't give up. Now, here's the thing. With a TikTok burner account method, you're genuinely tricking the algorithm into thinking you're a buying audience. You're going to buy these products. So you have to add them to cart. You have to like all the ads you see. You have to be very aggressive as if you're going to buy these ads. But the secret is, and no one talks about this, is you have to be consistent with it for at least 2 to 3 weeks. Here's the thing, guys. Doing it every day, like interacting with the ads and scrolling on the burner account every day for 20 minutes for 3 weeks is 1,000 times more valuable than just doing it 3 hours a day for a week, right? It's not a matter of doing it a lot. It's just a matter of doing it in small bits spread throughout a long period of time because that's actually going to trick the algorithm into thinking you're an active user on TikTok and you're actually what we call buying audience. So those are really my top product research methods using the TikTok burner account method. Now you can replicate this with Facebook Shorts, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Shorts, whatever it is. It's really simple. You just create an account, interact with ads, make them think you're a girl, maybe follow some makeup pages as well, follow some hair care pages. If you want more like men libido products, maybe follow some men wellness pages and just interact with these ads. Just stay consistent with it every day as if you are someone who's gonna buy it, as if you are a normal person just using this account. Marketing your products. Now this is one of the most important parts of this video and this is the most important parts of dropshipping in general because most people don't understand, but marketing is one of the most important parts of this game. It's basically everything, right? Like you can have a shitty product, but good marketing behind it and it will sell. Now vice versa, if you have an amazing product, but not so much good marketing, it won't sell. That's the thing. You need good marketing. Now what is good marketing and what does it look like? I'm gonna show you guys a good example of good marketing, but look, I've already shown you guys winning stores. My recommendation to you guys still stays the same. Go through these winning stores, go through some of the stuff I've shown you, and understand why it's working, and always try and replicate your ads and your marketing around what's already working. The secret to marketing online is not innovation, it's emulation. It's emulating what already is working. It's emulating what other people are doing and just expanding off of that. You guys don't need to be Albert Einstein. You don't need to be a genius and come up with something new. You don't need to be innovator. You just need to be emulator. In school, we were taught cheating is wrong, but trust me, in the business world, especially in branded dropshipping, cheating is just a bad word of emulation. They've just put a twist to it. Emulating is one of the best things you can do, especially when it comes to the marketing. So marketing is broken down into angles and creatives. You don't have winning products, you have winning creatives and angles. A creative is essentially just a piece of content you're using for your ad. So if we see on the screen right here, we have Bleem's ad library pulled up. All these videos we're looking at, these are all what we call creatives. You know, I can click on one and they're ads. Now, all these are UGC ads, stands for user generated content. This is just a style of creative where you essentially have someone talking about the product. They all kind of come off as like paid testimonial reviews, because a lot of the times UGC, you have UGC creators acting as if it's like they've bought the product and they're just talking about it. That's what the content looks like, and that's essentially your commercial, for a better lack of words, is UGC content. Now, when it comes to these creatives, you're at an advantage if you're selling them around a winning angle. Going back to what we talked about earlier, you have winning angles, not winning products. So winning angles like weight loss, like skincare, like hair care. These winning angles are huge, and are a huge role in playing in what type of creatives you guys want to create your brand around. Essentially, you guys want to have creatives that not only sell the product, but are centered around these angles, because these angles typically work well and will get the purchase. Now, I could spend hours and hours talking about making winning creative, what makes a winning creative, but instead I'm going to show you guys what some good winning creatives look like, and I'm going to tell you guys to emulate these for your own brand. So if we pull up Bleem here, this is the one we were looking at earlier, you can see some of their winning content here is, for example, this video right here. It's just a hook, and then it's some content about the product. It's more so of a compilation video. This is what we would call a compilation video. Now, the thing with creatives is you have winning creative styles. So not necessarily are all creatives going to be the same and all winning creatives going to look the same, but there's a lot of styles that overlap, and these are things that you'll notice over time, right? For example, with Bleem in this video we're watching right now, this is what we call a compilation style, because they have a lot of clips compiled back to back together. This is one of the best styles you can do off the bat when you're testing a product, especially if you're ripping content. Now, and a lot of you guys might not have heard this concept before about ripping content, but this is a huge part about marketing your brand. And it's not the most ethical way of doing things, but I need to explain it to you guys because it's very important. It's a very important process of this whole game. When you go about finding a product, a lot of the times, and I've learned this over the last 5 years, a lot of the times there's not a lot of content to use to test this product with. There's not a lot of content out there on the internet, like pictures and whatnot. You guys need to use what we call UGC content in order to test the product. And like a lot of the times, these are just TikToks online that you have to steal from the internet and post as your ads. Now that doesn't sound good when I say it out loud, but that's just how the game is. It's what we call ripping content. You can use softwares like ticksave.com or TikTok watermark saver, anything that can download TikToks without watermarks. You can download these videos as ads and just launch them on TikTok and Facebook ads. Now here's the thing, guys, this is good for testing a product, because let's say you're trying to sell the same product as Bleem, like this magic hair eraser. You just look up on TikTok magic hair eraser, you'll see all this content out there. You can download all this content. You can create compilation videos like the one I just showed you. You can create any sort of content with this. You can create like standalones, which are just the creatives, you just launch them on their own. You can create hook plus body plus CTA. So what that essentially is, it's a style that is the hook of the video is like first 3 to 5 seconds is maybe a bit aggressive. The body is someone talking about the video, like the next 10, 15 seconds. And the CTA is about 5 seconds of someone talking about what the offer is, like remove your hair in 30 days or your money back. If you guys want a more in-depth dive onto creatives, what winning creatives look like, and winning creative styles you guys can emulate for your e-commerce brand, just join the free group. The link is in bio. In this free group, we give away a lot of winning creative styles, and we talk about winning creatives like every week. So it would be dumb for you guys not to be active and join this group. But with that being said, I'm not going to dive too deep into this because I've already have a group and already giving away all the information there. So you guys just need to join that. But just know that having a winning creative is very important. You don't have winning products, you have winning creatives and angles. Now, just keep this in mind because when you're doing product research and you're looking for a good product to sell, one of the most important factors behind a winning product, besides the fact of it solving a problem and having a wow factor, is the product essentially having a lot of what we call untapped UGC. So these are TikToks online. This is just videos online about the product that are not necessarily tied towards a specific brand. I'll give you guys a really good example is the carnelian stone. When we were selling the carnelian stone, we essentially, all we had to do was just look up on TikTok carnelian stone, and there was just so much content and people just making about the product because they liked it. This wasn't our content, this wasn't someone else's content, this was just random videos online that we then took and used as our ads to start off. Now, obviously, as you scale up your brand, one of the most important things you guys need to do is invest in getting your own content with UGC creators, which we'll talk about shortly here. But off the bat, you can definitely rip with your marketing, and it's one of the most important things you guys need to do. Now, when we talk about angles, a lot of people do get this a bit mixed up and they think that having a strong angle behind your product is the only thing. Now, here's the thing, the creative you guys use, it needs to articulate the angle as clearly as possible. So for example, when it comes to the hair eraser product, the angle of that, of like removing your hair and being hairless and not having to get a laser surgery or not having to use wax or any of these painful methods, are really well articulated throughout these creatives. The angles are prominent and you guys can see them. When it comes to getting UGC creators, this is the next step in terms of marketing. You want to switch over to UGC content as quickly as possible. I typically tell people that after you make around 10 to 20K profit, the first thing you want to invest in is UGC content, getting your own content in the door. Like I said, in our Discord, we have a lot of resources on this because I don't want to make this a 7-hour video of me just talking about how to do this because it is a bit complicated. But I will say is this, you can find UGC creators all over the place. You can find them on Twitter just by making tweets. You can find them on different platforms like joinbrands.com, incense.com, TikTok Creative Marketplace. Another one is Billo. There's a UGC Factory. There's a lot of places to find UGC creators. You essentially just need to have them replicate your existing winning videos, and so you can keep scaling them up, and also have them work on new concepts that you come up with. And this essentially is one of the most important parts about the game. A lot of people might be confused, like, okay, I've been talking about products, I've been talking about UGC creators, I've been talking about content, I've been talking about selling shortcuts, I've been talking about all these different things, but I haven't mentioned ads. I haven't mentioned how to run ads and media buying or anything like that. And here's the thing, guys, every other guru out there is going to put you, they're going to get you on a video, they're going to explain some bullshit ad strategy, they're going to lie to you and say this bullshit ad strategy is going to make you millions. They're going to lie to you. And the thing is, I didn't want to be like every other guru. I spent over hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars looking for people to teach me how to do dropshipping correctly, people to teach me how to properly make money in this space, and every time I got stuck with the same bullshit media buying strategy, Facebook ad winning strategy. Guys, it's all bullshit. I'll tell you what, we spend over $20,000 to $30,000 a day on ads, and we only run wide open campaigns. We do no targeting. We don't even target gender. We just launch creatives normally in what we call CBOs, and I'll kind of dive into it here in a second. But that's the thing, guys, there's no core media buying strategy. It isn't super complicated, and that's one of the core lessons I learned in the last 5 years is in dropshipping and e-commerce and even agency. Don't waste your time trying to be the best media buyer. Actually build good creatives with a good product and a good angle, and it will work. Now, that's really important, guys. When we're running TikTok and Facebook ads, the most important part is not how we're running our ads, but getting good creatives and also using the right ad accounts. Now, this is more important than your ad strategies, what type of ad account you're using. So you have agency accounts and you have normal accounts. Simple as, never use normal accounts, only use agency accounts. Now, what is an agency account? Agency accounts are specific types of ad accounts that you can only access if you know the right people or you've been given access from a large entity. Now, agency accounts typically will charge you around 3 to 5% of ad spend, but they're so worth it because they perform better than normal accounts. They're much more consistent. They don't have spending limits and they don't go down. You know, if a product and creative is not working off of an agency account, then it's solely the product and creative that's the issue. Whereas if you're using a personal account and a product and creative isn't working, some of the times it might be the ad account that's the issue. Maybe you have a personal ad account that's like mixed up with some shit, you know, it happens. So it's really important you guys use agency accounts. Now, how do you get those? We offer them in the Discord as always. So just join the free group, link is in bio. We'll give you guys that for free. Another important part about creating a successful branded dropshipping store, and actually what makes branded dropshipping so unique from other forms of dropshipping, is your supply chain, is the ability to have control over your supply chain and how you actually work with your suppliers. Now, here's the thing, guys. It's very simple, and this part of the video is going to be very quick because it's very cutthroat. Don't use any of these available free platforms. CJ Dropshipping, Zendrop, I think is one of them. Any of these, definitely not AliExpress or below. That's not how you do it. Any of these like free available platforms that you've been offered, don't use them. And I'm probably gonna get a lot of heat for that. I'm probably gonna get a lot of heat for that one because these platforms have approached me to try and work with me. But the thing is, guys, I'm not gonna promote something I don't use myself. I only use private suppliers, and it's really important for branded dropshipping for you guys to use private suppliers because that's how you build a real business. You guys want to develop a relationship with your private suppliers and actually value them and have them value you, so you can create credit lines, you can create a real business transaction between you two. I go to China a lot. I've been to China around 4 or 5 times now because I meet with my suppliers frequently. I check up on my stock frequently. And I've learned over the years it's very important to develop a relationship with these people in China because they're essentially fueling your business. I have $1 million credit lines with my suppliers. They front a lot of my expenses. A lot of the times if I want to switch up my SKU, get into branding, they'll front the cost for me because I've worked with them so much. I've met them in person. I've gotten drunk with them. In fact, I've had a lot of fun with my suppliers, and that's one of the things that you don't get when you work with one of these big platforms that just looks at you like another client. Nevertheless, if you guys need the same exact private suppliers that I use for all my 8-figure brands, these aren't 7-figure brands, these definitely aren't 6-figure brands, these are 8-figure brands, you can go ahead and get them in the Discord. The link is in bio. Feel free to join. Next thing we're going to talk about here is creating and designing a store. Now, without wasting a lot of time here, I'm going to tell you guys exactly what I told you guys earlier when it came to ads. It's the same thing with stores, is emulation is the name of the game. Don't try and create a store from scratch. I'm not going to waste your time like the countless other dropshipping tutorials on YouTube and be in front of a computer and just build a store and like take like 3 hours of your time just when you could do it yourself. There's 2 ways to create a store. One, you get someone on Fiverr for like $20 or $30 to build a store, or 2, you do it yourself. All you need to do is, first of all, use good Shopify themes like Impulse or Sense. These are the only 2 I recommend right now. And you want to go ahead, emulate another existing store in your market. So for example, if you're selling like a skincare product or something like that, just emulate Bleem. Like just make your store look like Bleem. If you're selling like a red light therapy product or something like that, just emulate SolarWave. If you're selling a male testosterone booster libido product, emulate the Deer product I just showed you. That's the thing, guys. You just want to emulate other brands and just make your store look like them. That's the secret. We're going to be doing a bit more like live store building in our Discord if you guys want to see, but essentially it's not a hard thing, guys. If you just go to the theme builder and you make your store look like the store that you want to be like, that's the name of the game. Just emulate. I will say this, when it comes to ad copy, one of the most important parts that I can mention is you want to make sure you're listing the benefits of the products and not the features, right? So if you look at Bleem, you look at SolarWave, you look at these examples I've given you, you notice in the landing page copy on the website, they don't mention like the specifics of the product. They mention the benefits. For Bleem, it's remove your hair instantly or get your money back, be smooth and silky again. Like they're not talking about what the product is made of and how it works. They're just talking about the benefits because benefits sells, features inform. You're not here to inform, you're here to sell. So remember that. When it comes to creating a website, guys, it's very important to list the benefits, right? And that all kind of ties down to your marketing angle. Like I said earlier, guys, you don't have winning products, you have winning creatives and angles, right? So if you have a website that is pushing out these winning angles, you're really aggressive with these marketing claims you're making, you're doing a lot of before and afters and you're pushing it as much as possible, it's going to do a lot better and it's going to work in correspondence to your ads as well. And it creates this whole perception going back to having a real branded store. Nevertheless, guys, when it comes to creating a branded dropshipping store, just know that 99% of people are not going to go to your homepage. Everyone is going to go to your product page. You're driving all the traffic to your product page anyway, because when you set up your Facebook ad campaigns, when you set up your TikTok ad campaigns, they essentially are all going to your product page anyway. No one's going to click on your homepage. Most of the time, people are going to buy just right off your product page. So don't worry too much about your homepage. Just make sure your product page looks good as possible. One thing I will mention is when it comes to having a product page, there's a bit of a correspondence to understanding this concept and having good success, and that is above and below the fold. Now, what is above the fold? Above the fold is everything that populates right when you load up the website. So that is everything above the fold. When you start to scroll, everything below that is now considered below the fold. Now, above the fold is really important because everything above the fold makes a huge dramatic increase or decrease to your conversion rate. If you make a lot of changes to the above the fold, you can expect a change in conversion rate, whereas below the fold, most people don't really read, don't really scroll scroll too much. It's good to have it nice, obviously, but it doesn't make a huge difference to your conversion rate. The one great piece of advice I can give you that I learned over the last 5 years of selling products online is have as much information as possible in your above the fold, because that is what's going to help you sell the product. The more, because when someone loads up your website, they instantly are making a decision subconsciously if they're buying or not. So above the fold, if you have reviews, if you have social proof, if you have the price point, if you have the offer, if you have good images, if you have like a pretty picture, then that is what's going to get people to buy. I highly recommend you look at the above the fold for these brands I show you, like Bleem, Solo Wave, or the Reindeer brand, because they're really good and they're definitely going to give you a good insight on what you guys need to be doing. All right, guys, so in these last 2 parts of the video, I'm going to be talking about the hiring and firing process that I've learned over the years when it comes to branded dropshipping. Now, this is a bit more advanced than the majority of this video. So I will say is this, I'm going to briefly go over these topics, but if you guys want more in-depth research and more in-depth answers to your questions on how to do this, just join the link in bio. You guys can talk to me directly and my team directly, and we'll give you more in-depth answers. And we have more in-depth content around hiring and firing, but not to keep this too advanced, we'll get into it. How to hire. So hire fast and fire faster is the motto you guys want to go by. If you're not hiring fast, you're moving slow. And if you're not firing fast, you basically have holes in your business, is what I like to call it, right? Because your business is like a balloon. And if it's leaking water by people being lazy and procrastinating, eventually that balloon is gonna, right? And you don't want to die. So when it comes to how to hire, first you need to understand where to hire and what roles to hire. Essentially, when you're building a branded dropshipping store, you want to delegate from the top up. So that means like whatever like the most monotonous and tedious tasks are, you delegate those first and then you slowly move up. So essentially, customer service is extremely tedious. That's one of the first hires you want to make. Then if you, one of the big parts of running a branded dropshipping store is high creative volume. This is something that we didn't talk about too much in this video because it's a bit more an advanced topic, but just to give you guys a brief, if you want to really scale up a branded dropshipping store over time, it's important that you have high creative volume. If you guys don't have high creative volume, then you won't be able to scale. You also want to then hire someone who can be your editor, right? Because with high creative volume comes a lot of editing. So customer service reps, editors, you essentially want to hire creative strategists. Over time, these are people that are going to help run your operation. They basically will manage your editors and manage your marketing and whatnot. You can hire media buyers, people to handle over your media buying, like cutting, scaling, and launching. You can also hire people along the lines of if you want to expand to Amazon, if you want to get on TikTok Shop, people can handle these specific sales channels for you. Essentially, these are the main hires you need to make. I would say with a team of 3 to 5 people, you can do $1 million a month. You don't need a huge team. In fact, you actually want to keep it as lean as possible. Having a good creative strategist, a good editor, and a good media buyer, and then some customer service reps, that's enough to be doing $1 million a month. You're a millionaire with that team. So just keep that in mind. It's not super in-depth and crazy, and everyone does things differently. If you guys want more in-depth help with how to hire for your e-commerce brand, your branded dropshipping store, be sure to join the link in bio. How to scale your store. Now, this is a big one, and this is where branded dropshipping becomes very different than normal dropshipping. When it comes to scaling your store, a lot of people get the misconception that you need to have a huge team behind your store. You need to have millions of outsider funding coming in to build it into a real brand, but they don't realize that brands move in versions. Your version 1 is going to be very different than your version 5. Your version 5 is going to be way different than your version 10, right? So how to scale your store. One of the most important parts scaling your store is, one, if you already have momentum, keep your momentum and make sure you have the ball rolling, and make sure you understand the basics of, running your ads. You get your conversions every day. You know your metrics, right? You know that if you spend $1,000 on marketing and you make back, 1.5K, then you're still profitable, but you want to be around making back 3K. Just know your metrics. We call these unit economics. So know your break-even ROAS, your break-even CPA. These are the 2 most important ones. And always know your day-to-day margin. With a good e-commerce brand, a good branded dropshipping store, you want to be sitting around a 30% margin. So, and that's before all the overhead. On a month-to-month basis, you'll probably be around a 20 to 25%. But if you're around 25 to 30% on a day-to-day basis, that's great. You want to use platforms like Triple Whale. Triple Whale is a great Shopify application that allows you to essentially see your day-to-day metrics and see all your margin and all that. And actually, it's good for ad tracking as well. But we won't go in depth too much with that because it's a bit more advanced. But how to scale your store? The main thing is mass creative testing. Now, what is mass creative testing? Mass creative testing is the term that no other guru talks about because they have never gotten to actual scale. Not to be rude or shit on anyone's career, but most of these people haven't actually scaled the e-commerce brand, so they don't know what they're talking about. But mass creative testing is essentially when you see a batch of creatives working, most people will tell you, okay, just let it rip, make some duplications of the campaign and just let it keep going. That's the biggest lie ever, because if something is working, that's the green light for you to put your foot on the gas and just make more, right? Mass creative testing is the action of testing as many creatives as physically possible. That is getting as many creators as possible, getting as many UGC creators as possible, editing as many videos as possible, making as many compilation videos, as many standalone videos, as many AI videos, as many graphics as possible, just outputting as much content as you physically can and building a system around that. And that is what an e-commerce brand really looks like. A good e-commerce brand is just a content powerhouse. Trust me, guys, it's very important. You guys need as much content as physically possible. You guys can be pushing out as many creatives as you can. I mean, per brand, right now we have around 4 brands. Per brand, we launch anywhere between 20 to 30 creatives a day. So just think about that. Like, we have the systems to do that. That's why we're able to scale, and that's why we're able to do well over $1 million a month. So that's very, very important to scaling a store. One last thing I'll mention about scaling a store is changing up your offer. A lot of the times you'll reach a cap at how much you can scale with a certain offer, so you want to switch it up, maybe by adding a new product, by adding a complementary product, switching up the deliverability of your product. These are more advanced topics, so I won't get too much into them. As I said, if you want more advanced help, join the Discord, but that's how you scale your store. So guys, I know it was a long video. I know I went over a lot of different things. I mean, we talked about stuff ranging from finding a product to actually building a full-fledged e-commerce brand. And I hope this helped some of you guys, because if I had this video years ago, I would probably be a billionaire by now. But you know, the thing is, guys, I wanted to give value. I wanted to just give you guys things that you're not going to get anywhere else unless you spend $50,000 for a course, and then maybe you would get it, because I'm so tired myself of seeing all these bullshit dropshippers online give away all this bullshit information, because at the end of the day, it's not real information, and none of these guys are actually doing it. They're not actually making money with dropshipping. They're not actually, you know, making money with this business model, right? So that's really the video, guys. If you like this type of content and you like, you know, what we preach and how we teach people, be sure to join the group, as I plugged it many times. Follow me on Instagram, because on Instagram I like to give away winning products frequently, and I give a lot of value away on Instagram as well. We have a Twitter as well. Go ahead and follow me there. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really put a lot of effort into it, and I hope you guys got a lot of effort out of it. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. All right.